All right, hey everybody, Mark Burgess here, Big East Bass Fishing. Thanks for checking out another video. This video is a little bit different from the types of videos that you've seen from me. A little bit, actually a lot of it, sentimental for a few reasons. So, as the title of the video suggests, I'm going to talk about custom rods, custom built rods, okay? So, I'm going to kind of back up a little bit and tell a little story about a good friend of mine, my father and his father. So, as most of you know, I mean, I grew up in the fishing industry, been fishing since I was like 4 years old, have that vivid memory. Another good friend of mine has done the same thing. So, in the fishing industry, in the business, my father owned a very successful tackle shop, and we also fished saltwater, commercial rod and reel for striped bass, blues, weak fish, scup to tog, I mean, you name it, growing up before I get into freshwater fishing. And long before I met my good buddy, Al Capichetti, again, through fishing. So, unbeknownst to us, our fathers knew each other in business, in the fishing industry. My father with the tackle shop and the commercial fishing, Al's father, a famous custom rod builder. Okay, so the apple didn't fall far from the tree for both of us. And flash forward many years, I met Al through fishing, freshwater fishing this time, and then learned of his past, his upbringing, the love of the sport of fishing, just like his father. Same with me, obviously. So, Al has been known to build some fantastic rods. I have several rods of his, custom-built rods for freshwater. And a few years ago, actually not even a few years ago, many years ago, after my father passed, I inherited his rods, as well as I have, and I'll probably do a whole nother video about this. I have my father's rods, which are old school, as you can imagine. I have my grandfather's rods, which are extremely old school, and pretty cool actually, but just absolute monster fishing rods, really, compared to the tackle we use today. It's basically, I mean, all the inshore striper fishing is like a heavy action freshwater rod for the most part. Not so back in the day. So his rod, my father's rods, were a little beat up. A lot of them are still beat up. As you can imagine, just riding around the back of pickup trucks and the bottom of boats and things like that. And just all saltwater for the most part, all saltwater use, okay? So, one of the rods was a Zebco, and I have two of them. I had one, my father had one. It was a Pro Staff Zebco rod, made in the USA, model SF something. And it's also has a signature on it as well, which I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna really need to like look at that a little closer. I didn't realize it had a signature on it. So anyway, it's a glass rod, two-piece rod, and like I said, my dad got two of them, one for me, one for him. And glass rod, inshore, two-piece rod, had a ferrule. And I'm not going to put this on all the way because that's the kind of the nature of this whole video, really. And I'll get into that. So, we get the old stainless guides, wire guides, glass rod, great for plugging, long handle, just a beefy rod. And, mine's in decent shape. Like I said, I'm going to just put a little bit of oil on that before I seat it in there. My father used to have this trick where he'd actually take his finger like on the side of his nose, and he'd use that oil. Sounds kind of odd, but he would use that on the ferrule, you know, to keep it from sticking. Well, apparently one time he didn't do that, and it was kind of stuck together, if you will, but not all the way. It wasn't seated all the way down, which you could have let it stay like that, I suppose, and treat it like a one-piece rod, never take it apart. But it was off to the side and locked in there. Who knows how many years it had been like that. For the life of me, I could not separate it. I couldn't straighten it out. I couldn't get it all the way in. I couldn't get it all the way out. So I gave it to Al. And I said, hey, you know, see what you can do, you know, about this rod. And that was years ago. And probably, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years ago, something like that. And forgot all about it. Well, Al didn't forget about it. Recently caught up with Al, and he had a surprise for me. This is the rod. This is my father's rod, okay? So as you can see, it's been completely rebuilt. Reel seat, guides, brand new ferrule. Just an amazing job. And what he did, Al's known for, as his father was, for his diamond wrap skills. Okay, so I'm gonna hold this up. I really want you to check that out. And he put my father's name in it. So that to me is a work of art. You don't see that in today's rods. That's just amazing. Gold wrap, red, black, diamond wrap. Just incredible. So like I said, all brand new reel seat, cork's been redone, all brand new guides. He took the blank down. So now 2-piece ferrule. He had a real hard time finding this. So I'm going to have that forever. So that's my story about custom rods. I have, like I said, I have a few made by Al that I'll cherish, that I do cherish and use. One of them is a flip and stick, which I love. But yeah, if you're thinking about having a custom rod made, you know, there's a couple reasons in my mind now that I think about it to have a custom rod. One, you know, you have a particular technique that you like to do. You can't find a rod that you're comfortable with, that really speaks to you as far as what you want it to do, and the weight and the feel of the rod, the action of the rod. You know, a lot of factory rods, there's tremendous amount of great factory rods on the market. And a lot of them are true to their action, some not so much. But for me, the custom rod is more about the sentimental part. You know, it's about, you know, family. It's about friends. And to me, that's what it's all about. So before I get too emotional here, thank you, Al. Anyone looking for a custom rod, look up Al Cappy or get a hold of me. He's a real busy guy, still in the fishing industry, and just a hammer on the water, both fresh water and salt water. So he's pretty busy. So not sure what his workload is with the rod building side of things, but it may take a while, may not be able to do it, maybe he can. But Al Capichetti, we call him Al Cappy, some people just call him Cappy. Just look him up. And thanks again, Al, I appreciate it. All right, Everybody be good. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the water soon.